Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. As always, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. First up, on the 6th, there is the high-grade Gundam Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz version, going for a pretty substantial 4,180 yen, 26 US. A price point that actually puts it dangerously close to Master Grade territory. And while we are getting some cool accessories, it is still an expensive set, so hopefully we'll get some really good color separation to kind of make up for that price. As for those accessories then, we're getting the usual Gundam Wing hands, 2 heat hotels, 2 superheated parts for those heat hotels, and the shoulder armor with a cape that is made out of a special soft material, as they describe it. We also got the box art, which is looking really good. And then the second thing we're getting this month is the high-grade Hammurabi. This thing came to yours on the 26th for 2,860 yen, 18 US, but unfortunately, unlike the Sandrock, we didn't get any new promotional images yet, nor did we get the box art. As for its accessories, it comes with a movable mono-eye, a Fedine rifle, Sea Serpent with lead wire, and the ability to transform into its mobile armor mode. Related to the Gunpla news then, is the Gundam Café news. The June opening hours for the Gundam Café truck at the life-size Unicorn Gundam statue have been announced and are on screen right now. And from June until August, you'll be able to get more than just food and drinks there. Promotion 1 is that by buying something at the food truck, you'll get a Unicorn Gundam headband. And promotion 2 is that by buying something at the food truck and then also spending 3,500 yen at the Gundam base there, you'll get a free Ecopla 1/144 scale RX-78 Gundam Assembly Experience version. And 3,500 yen is only like 22 US, so that is a really cool freebie. And also related to the Gunpla news, a Gundam-based pop-up store will be setting up shop in Emiful Masaki in Ehime Prefecture. It'll be there from August 1st until August 30th. On to the action figures then. They announced the newest lineup of Gundam Universe, consisting of renewal versions of the Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version, Freedom Gundam, and Char's Zaku 2. Older Gundam Universe figures suffered from a variety of problems, like lacking weapons, lacking articulation, and sometimes weird proportions, let's call them. These renewal versions are here to solve those problems. At 4,400 yen a piece, 28 US, they're only slightly more expensive than their older counterparts, but they are so much better. Their proportions are now much closer to what they should be. Thanks to the universal reaction frame, their articulation is much improved, and they also come with all of their main accessories, which, believe it or not, is not something you could expect from the older Gundam Universe figures. The Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version comes with its twin buster rifle that can be separated and a beam saber. Char Zaku 2 has a Heat Hawk, Zaku machine gun, Zaku bazooka, and a movable mono-eye. And the Freedom comes with a beam rifle, connected beam sabers, a shield, and the ability to replicate its iconic full burst mode. Pre-orders at regular hobby stores began on the 1st, and they're slated for a November release. Just today then, pre-orders began for 3 new figures, or well, 2 new ones and 1 re-release, because one of them is the Gundam Girls' Generation Sayla Mass Rest version, featuring Sayla from that one episode from the OG Gundam where they took a little break from fighting and went to the beach. So we've got Sayla lounging on a beach chair with a base designed to resemble a sandy beach. All of which can be yours in late November for 24,200 yen, 151 US. Which is also when we're getting this Lucrea Light GQuuuuuX Challia bull figure, wearing his typical Zeon uniform. And, well, there's not much more I can really say about this figure. It's a very anime-accurate rendition of Challia, with a somewhat stern look in his eyes. And he'll cost 8,800 yen, 55 US. The third and final announced figure then is the Lucrea Light Gundam Seed Freedom Athrun Zala pilot suit version. He's also going for 8,800 yen, 55 US, but is releasing in late January. He's holding his helmet in his right hand, but unfortunately, there's no option to have him wearing the helmet. Also, just as with many other Freedom figures, I feel like his face is closer to his design from Destiny than his design from Freedom. Not that that's a bad thing. From Gundam X then, we're unfortunately starting with some less good news. This week it was confirmed that Hiroyuki Kawasaki passed away on January 23rd at the age of only 60. He was responsible for the script for Gundam X, and he has also worked on many other amazing anime, like for example Tekken Blade, the anime for Sakura Wars, Ranma 1/2, and even Sorcerer Hunters. He will definitely be missed. More pleasant news then is that at the Chayamachi Oshi Festival, they'll be handing out a XX fan with Garrett and Tifa on the other side, and 4 types of Gundam themed balloons. There's just the Gundam logo, the Zai Gundam, the RX-782, and of course the XX. Also, the first episode of the Gundam X YouTube show has gone live. Although despite being called the first episode, it is of course actually episode 2, because the first episode was called episode 0, something that they also make fun of in the video itself. But so, it was again an absolute blast to watch, presented by the voice actors for Garrett and Tifa. I love their chemistry on screen, so I will definitely have it linked down below. Unfortunately, it is only in Japanese, and it is not officially subtitled in English. You have those auto-generated subtitles, but yeah, they're unfortunately not that great. And what was also released on YouTube was the music video for ENDROLL, featuring footage from the sorcery of Nymph Circe. For something completely different then, have you ever wondered what Amuro, Char, Sayla, and Lalah smelled like? Well, if you did, you no longer have to worry. Thanks to a collaboration with Primaniacs, they're releasing perfumes based on these 4 characters. And according to the description, Amuro has a clean soapy smell, perfect for a boy going into battle to protect his friends. Char has a note of light fougère, hiding his desire for revenge. Sayla has a floral musky note, accentuating her search for her brother, who is her only living relative left, and Lalah has a serene innocent scent, with the description only getting more sad the more you read about it. 1 bottle will set you back 7,920 yen, 50 US, and they'll become available on August 21st, both offline and online through Primaniacs. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Unicorn Gundam Hyper Mega Launcher has joined the fray, while on Steam the Berge Gyros Gillet Kruger has become available. In UC Engage, we got an event unit assembly for the UR Ruluka and the UR Fats, which is unfortunately how you're supposed to pronounce this thing, as well as a Battle Rush EX event and a Total War event. As the Gundam G Generation Eternal then, once again celebrated reaching number 1 on certain storefronts, once again giving everyone 3,000 diamonds. And this was no doubt achieved thanks to the new cross-dimension 0079 story event and the new units that became available alongside it. Although, unlike most other featured unit assemblies, the UR ones aren't from the story event they're bundled together with. There's the UR Nightingale EX version with UR Char Aznable, the UR New Gundam Double Fin Funnel version, EX version with UR Amuro Ray, and the UR Supporter, Nanai Miguel, and Reolula. It's then with the SSRs that we see some units from Cross Dimension 0079, being the SSR Gundam Pixie with the SSR Bor Cry, and the SSR Ifrit with the SSR Henry Boone. And on top of that, there was also a Fierce Enemy Assault for an SSR Gundam Mark IV, and the Generation Tower West Tower has opened up. Over at the Arsenal Base arcade game then, the latest booster set has gone up for pre-order on Premium Bandai. It is called Gundam Tri-H Volume 2, and features cards with a design that is heavily inspired by the style of Tri-H. Some straight up reuse art from Tri-H, I think, and others are brand new, like the cards from Gundam Seed Freedom and GQuuuuuX. At the moment, they're slated for an August release. As for the things you could get this week then, we began on the 30th with the latest Gunpla release, the high-grade Messer M01 Gawman use, going for 3,740 yen, 23 US. And while it might share some similarities with the F01, as far as I know, the M01 is a completely new kit, down to even the beam rifle. Other accessories include a shield and 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts. The action base that you see in some of the promotional images is not included. On June the 1st then, it was all about random stuff. Like for 400 yen a spin, $2.50, you could gacha for the Gundam Machibouke Collection No. 2 Black Clear version. As the name indicates, for the most part it is just the previously released Gundam Machibouke No. 2, but now the figures are molded in clear plastic. There is one kind of difference though. Char's Zagok is now just listed as a normal Zagok. It got downgraded. The other figures then are a Dom, Strike Gundam, and Baku, all of which are looking pretty sad. I'm sorry, little Baku, we're all out of blue duels here. And finally, for 385 yen a pop, also around $2.50, you could buy these GQuuuuuX grape-flavored gummies, which also come with a little GQuuuuuX figure. You could get the regular GQuuuuuX, the Red Gundam, the G-Fred, Xavier's Gyan, the Kikaroga, the Psycho Gundam, Sugai's Gelgoog, Char Zaku GQuuuuuX version, or the rare GQuuuuuX Endymion Unit active version. For this week's reading material then, we first had the reprinted edition of Mobile Suit Daikaibo, which we can roughly translate to Gundam Big Analysis or Gundam Big Dissection, because the book is all about analyzing the history between Amuro and Char, going from the first Gundam all the way up to Char's counterattack. Next up, Chapter 6-2 of Frontiers in Glory Days was released for free online, and so was Chapter 37 of the Battle Tales from Flanagan Boone, and that is one hell of a promotional image. Boone looks like he just came out of Tormented Souls 2. Also, Volume 2 of Frontiers in Glory Days will get a physical release on July the 23rd. For this week's apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off with 2 new Double Zeta Gundam inspired Aloha shirts. For 16,500 yen, 103 US, you can get a white one with the Double Zeta Gundam and the AUK logo, or a black one with the Q-Blade Mark II and the Neo Zeon logo, both of which will become available in physical Strict G stores on the 13th. And you can maybe combine them with some jewelry made in collaboration with Jam Homemade, releasing in Jam Homemade stores in August. And they include some of the most expensive keychains that I have ever seen, Gundam or otherwise, even with the very generous yen to dollar or yen to euro rate. So, the cheapest keychain is a Gundam Zaku 2 or Char Zaku 2 face keychain, going for 13,200 yen, 83 US. And yes, you heard that correctly, that is the cheapest one available, because next up, we've got an Operation V brass keychain for 22,000 yen, 138 US. The most expensive keychain then is that same Operation V keychain, but now in silver, going for 132,000 yen, or 826 US dollars. I am genuinely curious how these are gonna sell, and it's also kinda crazy how this keychain is more expensive than the actual jewelry in this collaboration. The most expensive one of those is a Gundam Hammer triple wrap silver bracelet, which you can also use as a necklace, and this one goes for only 110,000 yen, or 688 US. Or for 19,800 yen, 124 US, you can go for the brass version. Slightly cheaper then is the Gundam Hammer normal bracelet. The silver version goes for 77,000 yen, 482 US, and the brass version goes for 16,500 yen, 103 US. Even cheaper then is the Operation V necklace. The silver version will set you back 24,200 yen, 151 US, and the brass version 13,200 yen, 83 US. And finally for Strict G, we've got this Sorcery of Nymph Circe Super Deformed Collection, featuring adorable SD renditions of the Penelope, Gustav Karl, Zai Gundam, Messer Type F01, and Messer Type F Naked. There's a black t-shirt featuring the Zai Gundam and a Penelope fighting each other, going for 4,730 yen, 30 US, a tote bag featuring all of them for 3,520 yen, 22 US, and then there's also rubber keychains with either the Zai Gundam or the Penelope, going for 1,210 yen each, 8 US. And all of these will become available in physical Strict G stores on the 6th. Meanwhile, over at Bankore, they mostly stuck with what they do best: acrylic stands. This time featuring the main characters from Gundam X, including the good guys, the bad guys, and the somewhere in between guys. You can get them on a standard acrylic stand for 1,320 yen each, 8 US, or on a big acrylic stand for 2,750 yen each, 17 US. And they're all slated for a July release. But it wasn't just acrylic stands this week. What also went up for pre-order is this Sorcery of Nymph Circe Mafty themed handy fan. You can use it as a normal handheld fan, but you can also use it on your desk thanks to a movable head, and you can even hang it from your neck for what they're calling hands-free mode. And this multifunctional fan can be yours in July for 4,400 yen, 28 US. I got one of these fans a while back, and I'm honestly surprised at how well they work. For being so small, they make a surprising amount of wind, and they're also not that loud, again, for how much wind they're producing. Definitely a recommendation for summer. And that has been all for this week's Gundam News. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam News.